Namaskar, I'm Professor Feroz of SBIHM, which is Subhas Bose Institute of Hotel Management, and your personal development coach. Today, in this video, I'll be discussing 16 things you should not say during an interview. No matter how capable or how eligible candidate you think of yourself, if you make any one of these mistakes, if you say any one of these 16 things, you are very less likely to get hired. So without wasting your time, let's straight jump into the video. So the first thing you should never say during an interview, that is, I don't know much about your company, so what does your company do? Never ever say this during an interview. Never make such blunder, which will definitely gonna ruin your whole interview. You should always do a research, do a study before you sit for the job interview. You should know about the company, you should know about the activities of the company. Never say that, I don't know much about your company, so what does your company do? Never ever ask this question during an interview. So number 2, you should never say during an interview, that is, what's the job description? What's the title of job again? What's the job description? Never say this. You should never ask the interviewer, what is the job title? Or what's the title of the job again? You should never ask this. You should know, you should study in great detail about the job description before you sit for the interview. Point number 3, which you should never say during an interview, which is, my previous boss was terrible. Never ever say this. Never say negative things about a previous company or about a previous boss. If you say so, which shows your unprofessionalism. If you badmouth about a previous company or your boss, your current interviewer will make the interviewer compelled to think that after you leave the organization, or after this candidate is going to leave our organization, he will also do the same thing. He's going to spread negative things about our company as well. So by saying so, you create a negative impact during your interview. So never say this during an interview. Point number 4 is, it's already mentioned on my resume. Never say this during an interview. If the interviewer is asking some question, though it is mentioned on the resume, you should not say this. Rather, you should answer politely, professionally, you should answer the question. You should never get irritated by answering a question, or you should never let the interview understand that you are irritated by answering a question that it's already mentioned on my resume. Then, sir, why you are asking me again? The interviewer is going to think that this candidate, one question he's failing to answer. What he's gonna do when the customers will be asking you 1,000 questions, then very likely this candidate is going to get nervous or get irritated. When you're going to work in the organization, you have to answer multiple questions, 1,000 questions you have to answer. Then it's very likely that you will get irritated very easily. So never say this, it's already mentioned on my resume. Number 5 is, my weakness is my communication skill. I get nervous very easily while talking to the stranger. Never say this. Never say any weakness which matches with the profile, which matches with the job role. Suppose you're telling one weakness which is the demand of the company, which is the requirement. If you say so, you're very less likely to get hired. Now, just imagine you are sitting for the hospitality job sector, the hospitality sector, the campus interview. During the campus interview, you are the future hotelier, and if you say that I'm poor in communication skill, it's very less likely that you'll get hired, because in hospitality industry, Communication skill is a high demand skill. It's a mandatory skill or attribute which the candidate should possess. Number 6. I cannot work for such long hours. Never say this during an interview that I cannot work for long hours. Point number 7 is I don't have much experience, but I can do this, I can do that. Never say so. Never say that I don't have much experience. If you say so, you're simply creating a very negative impact during your interview. Number 8, I'm very short-tempered. I cannot control my emotions. Never ever say this during an interview that I cannot control my emotions, because you're very less likely to work in a highly pressurized environment. The job environment you need to take a lot of pressures. It's not gonna be very easy job environment. It never happens. So you need to control your emotions. You should be at your composure while working in a highly pressurized environment. Point number 9 is, that's a great question. I have a great answer to that question. I have the perfect answer to that question. Never ever say this during an interview that that's a great question, which means it will make the interviewer think that this candidate has very much well prepared for the answers, or you're simply cliche. You're just telling the framed answers, and again, it will create a negative impact. The candidate who gets hired, who always tries to connect with the interviewer, there has to be a genuine conversation, not like just simply you're answering the questions, you have practiced a lot and you're just telling whatever you have studied. It's not gonna happen. I mean, it should not happen during an interview. Rather, you should engage in a very genuine conversation with the interviewer. Number 10. I want to sit right exactly where you are. I want to see myself in your position in next 5 years. Never ever say this to the interviewer. The interviewer will never allow you or allow someone who will replace the interviewer. You can understand this, right? Never make this blunder. Never say that I want to see myself in your position in next 5 years. Number 11. I don't have any weaknesses. I don't really have a weakness. Never say this. No individual is perfect. Every individual have some mistakes, some flaws, some shortcomings. No individual can be perfect. If you say so, you are faking. You're not a genuine candidate during an interview. Your interviewer will simply think that this candidate is not loyal. He's not trustworthy. So try to be genuine. Never say that I don't have any weaknesses. Number 12. What about my salary, benefits, vacation, and weekly offs? Never ask the interviewer or never engage in discussions with the interviewer regarding your salary, wages, or your offs, your weekly offs, or your vacation. Always try to avoid asking such questions during an interview. It will create a negative impact and you're very less likely to get hired. Number 13. I don't think anyone else is more efficient or capable or qualified than me. It shows arrogance. Rather, you should show your politeness or professionalism. You should never end up saying that no one is more capable than me. Never ever say this during an interview. Number 14. I can't answer that question. Though if you don't know the answer, don't say I can't answer to that question. Rather, you can say that just give me a couple of minutes, I'll get back to that question. I'll get back to that answer. Just give me a couple of minutes, I'll get back to that answer. Number 15. This position will be a great stepping stone for my next job. Never ever say this during an interview. The interviewer is never going to hire you if you say so. The interviewer is going to hire you, or his expectation is that this candidate is going to associate with us or associate with the organization for a long period of time. Now, if you say so that this position will be a great stepping stone for my next job, which means indirectly you're saying that you're gonna leave the organization after a couple of years. So the interviewer is not going to hire you if you say so. Number 16, I don't have any questions. Never say this. At the end of the interview, while the interviewer is going to ask you, do you have any questions for us? Never say that. So I don't have any questions. Rather, you can ask that, how could I add value to your organization? Such question you should come up with, which will create a positive impact. And there are high chances you will get selected. So these are the 16 things you should never say during an interview. If you say so, very less likely you'll not get hired, or high chances you're gonna be rejected. So refrain asking these 16 questions, or never end up saying this, or never make such blunders during an interview. So that's all for today. Very soon I'll be seeing you with another powerful topic. Till then, take care of yourself and learn, develop, grow. So keep learning and keep developing.